This is a market scenario that it is growing every year 10 to 12%. Government projects contribute almost 50% revenues. Indian water treatment equipment industry is reasonably well established and cost competitive. Even there are many fixtures in India who are supplying to Indian companies. So the cost competitiveness is required to supply something to Indian market. The water treatment market is evolving from chemical treatment, biological to now membrane use. We used to do chemical first, now we shifted to biological, now going towards recycling. So the membrane is the coming up business. And these are the trends we are observing in India. It will going to change like ZLD system, viability and its enforcement. So, government has came up with ZLD, but the viability wise, it depends on the water cost in particular areas. Where water cost is high, the ZLD is a viable option, otherwise it goes unviable in terms of finances. So we have to work better viable ZLD system in terms of membrane use. Real-time monitoring and automation is very rigorously implemented. This is to be watched. If it is really implemented nicely, there is huge opportunity to upgrade everything. When you do real-time monitoring, the upgradation is really required. Water recycling reuse programs to reduce water consumption and discharge needs like thermal power plants. Government came up with a particular norm. If you want to generate 1 megawatt power, you cannot use more than this water. Same trend is followed for all industries. Then the recycling will boom like anything. Implementation of solid waste or sludge reduction programs, there is already in the capacity building stage, but yet on the ground it is yet to be built. Creation of more CETPs to improve wastewater treatment economy. CETP is also under schemes of the government of India, Maharashtra, even Vidarbha, we are having more CETPs. Like we are operating one in Nagpur, 5 MLD, another 15 MLD plant is under designing stage, another 5 MLD plant is under designing stage. Those tenders will come. These are the technologies as of now, according to my understanding, we are using less than 2 MLD plant. The MVPR is most preferred technology, because it requires less space and less economical, better economical solution. Bigger plants, till now we are doing ASP, active flux process, then suddenly we went towards the SBR, then industry, it is a specific to industry, that's what technology is selected. These are the indicative supportive space, opportunity space by Government of India, like National Mission of Clean Ganga. This is a Government of India's pride scheme to take care of the Ganga river, and a lot of contracts or projects for the sewage recycling are coming out in that belt. There is another scheme called Amrut, where all B-grade cities, those 312 cities are coming out with the sewage treatment and recycling and sewer line plants. So, and urban local bodies is another small scheme of the Government of India, where urban local bodies also going for the small STPs and centralized STPs with the sewer collection and network lines. Reuse of sewage in thermal power plants is again compulsion from the government. It will take shape in coming years. Reduction of water use in thermal power plants, I already explained. Networking and sewer systems. Industrial Development Corporation are coming with upgradation of CETPs, and the industry association also taking the aggressive steps to take care about the environment properly. The way we develop in last 50 years hazardous facilities, now we want to develop all sewage recycling plants properly. This is the SMS exposure into the Vidarbha, especially in the wastewater. We have developed 6 plants till now in different technologies. CETPs, 4 CETPs rather, 1 produced water plant and 1 sewage recycling plant which we will be visiting tomorrow. So one of these kind plants which is giving 24/7 treated sewage to use in thermal power plants. So we call it as a water production plant. And that is based on the SBR technology. These are the 3 different business models which are operating in India, like EPC plus O&M. Means government comes with a tender, they give everything to you to construct, build and operate for them. This is a payable, chargeable basis. You charge government, government sponsors the project. This government sponsored project is EPC plus O&M. BOOT is a model where you invest and recover from the users. user is the industry or hospital or ULB or city corporation, or non-revenue user again city corporation. So individual household, you have to recover your money by investing your money. Hybrid annuities are third model which is taking very aggressively. It is partly government pays you in advance and rest is between student EMIs, and not to recover from the individual customer, but they pay you in 20 installments or 200 installments based on the tenure of the business. Thank you very much. This is some pictures of my plant of CETP, which is based on activated stress process. It's a primary secondary treatment plant. The 5 MLD plant we developed in 2006 and operating very nicely till now, and will be upgrading to ZLD in coming time. This is the CETP plant in Nagpur, which is taking care of duty-free industry, all industry, building laboratory. PLC room is the inlet line, is through closed pipeline, all wastewater coming, physical chemical treatment, coagulation process. This is the ASP process, the diffused aeration system. This is the aerated from the Germany Reha only. You may be aware of the Reha, German made the silicon, and the disposal of this treated water is on the HRT, higher rate transpiration system. This is the one of the system where you plant the trees which consume more water, and they consume everything. So this is almost 25 hectares, 2.5 lakh square meter area is developed with this specific kind of plants, and the water is applied there, and the water is evaporated through this plant. So it's called high rate transpiration. Thank you very much. Any query information, I am available whole day here, and you will get problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bude, and thank you, Dr. Malviya, for your deep insights into the region and also the business opportunities in the environmental sector. I hope our German friends have found this presentation very interesting. Maybe a lot of questions have come to your mind. So Dr. Malviya will be here with us today and tomorrow in the industrial tour, and you can have your time with him and with the other delegates from Vidarbha to shoot out your questions and get some answers from you. So taking this further, may I now request Ms. Cornelia Frank for her presentation on the state of Baden-Württemberg, its industries and the city of Karlsruhe. Ma'am, please.
It's my pleasure to be here today with you, and to be honest, I only got here tonight. I didn't get much sleep, so I asked my colleague Christina Rufford to do the presentation today. And you are in very good hands with her, and I'm also looking forward to what she's telling you about the state of Baden-Württemberg. But again, it's a real pleasure to be here today, and we are so happy that you set up this for our delegation, and we hope we can do the same thing for you upon your visit, maybe sometime soon in the state of Baden-Württemberg. Thanks a lot. So I asked Ms. Christina Rufford to do the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, thank you very much for the very warm welcome we had here. And I'm working in the department of Fund for Baden-Württemberg International, which is the state agency for the internationalization of economy and science in our state. And I have the pleasure to give you some insights today into the state of Baden-Württemberg, into our economic structure, and also some short words about our agency and our services, Baden-Württemberg International. Okay, so we start with some facts and figures about Baden-Württemberg. Baden-Württemberg, this is another very hard word for you to pronounce, but I think at the end of the day, you will be able to pronounce it. It's the third largest of the 16 federal states, and it has around 11 million inhabitants, which is of course far less than you cannot compare it to Maharashtra. But it lays It's located in the southwest and it borders Switzerland and France, and the capital is Stuttgart. I said our state is quite small, but the market potential is on an international level. So, for example, we have a higher gross domestic product than nations such as Norway, Belgium, Poland, or Austria. It reached 477 billion euro in 2015, which makes up for 15.2% of the German GDP. And you can see from this slide that we lay in the heart of Europe and have proximity to all European markets, and therefore it's a very attractive place. So within 4 hours you can reach 500 million consumers and all the important capitals in the world. So here I have some figures for our GDP per capita. The GDP per capita is far higher than the German average. As you can see from this slide, it reaches 42,000 euros, which is around 50,000 US dollars, and the German average is 37,000. Besides this, it's growing faster than the rest of Germany. So there's the second statistic. So in 2016, our growth was 2.2% as compared to the rest of Germany of 1.9%. So as you can see, it's a strong and stable economy. And some figures about our internationalization, about our export figures. Our products and services are in demand worldwide, and you can see on this slide where our export goes to, and it contributes very much to our GDP. So the export quota is 40%. And of course the main export market is Europe with more than 60%, which are the closed markets for us, and then the US with 15.5%, and of course and with increasing potential Asia. And we have fast-growing numbers in the markets in Asia, and this of course concludes high percentage in China, but also India is growing very fast. And so the trade between Baden-Württemberg and India, I think there's another slide later on, right? Or I just tell you the figures. It's very dynamically and reached 2.9 billion euro last year. And compared to the year before, this has risen, the export to India has risen by 10%, and the import from India even by 14%. So between 850 and 900 companies from Baden-Württemberg are active in India. So what is the key factor for this competitiveness in the international market? It's to a large extent, of course, innovation. This is very important, and in European comparison, Baden-Württemberg has the highest spending on research and development, makes up 4.9% of our GDP, and the highest number of patents as well, and the highest number of employees working at research and development related jobs. This innovativeness is being reflected by the amount of world market leaders. As you can see from this slide, we have 401 world market leaders in Germany, which makes up 26% of all world market leaders from Germany are from our state. And most of them are privately owned. They are often family run. It's our so-called German Mittelstand, which defines not only the size of the company, but also a business mindset. So here I have to elaborate a little bit. This has a long history in our state because Baden-Württemberg is very poor in natural resources. So people had to very early had to make up their minds how to make a living, and they started to invent things. And so they use their resource, the only resource they have, which is their brains, and they use to invent things. And so this has a very long tradition, and it's now still a major pillar of our economic success. it's the inventiveness of our people. And therefore, we can really truly say that the small and medium-scale industry, they are the backbone of our economy. And the small and medium-scale industry in our states, they have highly innovative products, and they are most of the time they're on the forefront of innovation. And here are some big companies today, but they all started out as SMEs, and I'm sure you know quite most of them, probably, and they all have the headquarters in Baden-Württemberg. And the products made by these companies, they are in worldwide demand and stand for high quality, reliability, and state-of-the-art design and technology, of course. So now I come back to the innovativeness. Of course, it doesn't take place only in companies. We have a large research and education landscape, and you can see this on the map here. There are research institutes and universities all over the country, not only in Stuttgart or the bigger cities, but they are all over the country, and this is very important to provide qualified staff to all the small and medium-scale industries which are spread over the country. So in total, Germany has 420 or more than 420 universities, and out of these, 70 are located in our state. And it's not only home to universities, but also to research institutions like Max Planck or Fraunhofer Institute. This brings me to the industry structure and to the sectors, and this is also one more success criteria of our state, the structure of the economy. It's characterized by a broad range of industries. So quite obvious that the key branches are, of course, automobile manufacturing, you all know Mercedes and Porsche, and mechanical engineering. And both of these sectors are closely linked to the electrical engineering industry. And the importance of these two sectors is shown by the fact that almost half of the workforce works either in the automotive sector or in mechanical engineering. So, and these sectors, they helped a new sector to come up, a pretty new sector, which is the sustainable mobility, and comprises alternative drive technologies, electromobility, and modern traffic guidance systems. And this is more and more in focus, and more companies and research institutes work in this or are active in this field. Other sectors which have a great potential and create strong revenue for our industry include the health sector and the medical technology, and also mostly small and medium-scale enterprises, and they have their origins in precision engineering and watchmaking industries, the forest area. Then information and communication technologies and the creative industries, and last but not least, of course, the environmental technologies and renewable. And with some of these companies, we are here for our visit today in Nagpur, and Mr. Dr. Spies will elaborate on this sector a little bit after my presentation. So to sum up, all companies active in these sectors, they have one thing in common. They are highly innovational, and this makes them internationally competitive. And just to put some more emphasis on the importance of the small and medium scale, indeed, I pointed out before that it's the backbone of our economy, and this can be seen from the fact that only 0.4% of the global players, of the companies are global players. The rest is small and medium-sized industries, and many of them are family-run businesses. And the reason why we emphasize on these, they not only contribute about half to our GDP, they offer 80% of all apprenticeship positions, And many of them, of course, are very innovative and also cutting-edge technology and state-of-the-art products. They are, of course, very flexible, much more flexible than big companies or big international companies, or big global players. And therefore, they can very flexible react to market demand and find a solution very flexible. A lot of them, of course, are also important suppliers to global players, and therefore they actually contribute to the success of the global players as well. But we are also a very attractive business location for foreign businesses. So many of them do not only have sales offices in Baden-Württemberg, they also operate production and research facilities, and these are the companies you can see here, and of course companies from India as well, and they use the advantages of our location. This brings me to the Indian companies. There are around 60 companies from India active in Baden-Württemberg, and you can see the sectors they're from. It's from ICT, services, metal, mechanical engineering, plastics, and automotive. And not only Mahindra, the logo we had before, but a lot more, of course. And besides this, I would also like to point out that in Baden-Württemberg we have the third largest Indian community in all of Germany. So the biggest one is in North Rhine-Westphalia, but of course it's the biggest state with the most inhabitants. Then Bavaria, but we only follow 65. So after Bavaria, it's Baden-Württemberg with 17,150 Indian inhabitants in our state. So this leads me to my last part, Baden-Württemberg International. What is our mission? We are the state agency to promote the internationalization not only of the economy but also of science. And we understand this support in both ways, going outward and inward. So outward is like organizing these kind of trade missions, for example, or international trade fairs, symposia, and other events. And we also market Baden-Württemberg outside as a very important location and try to attract and to bring in companies from all over the world to invite them to invest or to make business in our state. And therefore we offer a broad range of services. We can provide general information on Baden-Württemberg as a very attractive location. We provide information on legal framework and social insurance. We can help you identify suitable business partners or scientific partners. We can identify potential sites, and we can also organize visits for foreign delegations in our country, site visits, and help you support with this. And we, of course, we help you with administrative procedures as well. So we act as a gateway to all actors in the field of business promotion and development. And if we can do it ourselves, if we cannot support it ourselves, then we are in a broad network of other institutions and state agencies, so we can, in any case, redirect you to the right institution, which will meet your needs. So it was a pleasure for me to share with you some information on our state, and I welcome you very much to visit Baden-Württemberg, as Frank has also pointed out before, and we will be up here all day long, so please talk to us. And now I would like to thank you for your attention and take over to us.
Thank you, Christina, for so much insight into the state of Baden-Württemberg. I think it's a really progressive state and truly global in nature. So I'm sure there will be more collaborations to see from Maharashtra state also. The next presentation will highlight upon the environmental industry in the state of Baden-Württemberg. I request Dr. Hannes Speak to kindly take us through his presentation.
Mr. President, Lord Mayor, distinguished guests, I'm very glad to talk to you now about environmental technology, to present also to the delegation of environmental technology companies from Baden-Württemberg. Looking back at the last days, where we saw already very inspiring projects, and we saw also the development of smart city projects and smart city initiatives here in different cities. And looking also back on the presentation this morning, I think we are here at the right time because it's a very interesting market, it's a very interesting dynamic. And when we look also back to the presentation that the regulations develop into the right direction, I think it's also a really good starting point for cooperation, for initiatives we can work together. And therefore, I'm really happy to talk about environmental technology. My name is Hannes Speak. I am Managing Director of Umwelttechnik BW. Umwelttechnik BW is a state agency on environmental technology and resource efficiency. So we support companies in Baden-Württemberg but also abroad in aggregation, consulting, supporting in the field of environmental technology and resource efficiency. So for us, it's very important that these markets develop, that technology goes